many of us, our fondest childhood memories revolve around the traditions of Christmas. In the Northern Hemisphere during late December, the days are at their shortest lengths and the nights are at their longest. For those of the pagan world, this has always been the greatest time of the year to celebrate and practice the works of darkness. The pagan calendar identifies this period as the winter solstice. It was during the pre-Christian midwinter pagan celebrations of Scandinavia's Norsemen where today's Christmas traditions began. As a means of honoring the pagan sex and fertility god Yule, a 12-day celebration during the month of December was inaugurated. A large single log considered to be a phallic idol was lit on fire and kept burning for 12 days.
In Germany, the pagan god Odin lent his name to this midwinter holiday. Early Germans were terrified of Odin, whose nocturnal flights decided who would prosper or perish in the coming year. Later, we'd see another Christmas sky rider, Santa Claus. But for now, staying inside became the smartest choice at this frightening time of the year.
The true story of Santa Claus remains one of the biggest mysteries of all time. Stories and legends of this jolly red-clad symbol of kindness and Christmas cheer have been passed around for centuries in countries all over the world. Some believe Santa Claus has his roots in Christianity, while some believe that he was really based on the mythological god Odin. Others think that he was invented by the Coca-Cola companies in the early 19th to sell more pop. As a very good culture examiner knows, Christmas has pagan roots. Yule is a winter festival identified with Christmas in modern times. The pagan Germanic people celebrated Yule from late December to early January on a date determined by the lunar Germanic calendar. When the Julian calendar was adopted in Northern Europe, Yule was placed on December 25th to correspond with the date of Christmas. The word Yule comes from the same root as the word jolly. Modern Yule traditions include decorating a fir or spruce tree, burning a Yule log, hanging mistletoe and holly branches, giving gifts, and general celebration and merriment. Many symbols and motifs associated with the modern holidays of Christmas derive from traditional pagan Northern Europe Yule celebrations. The burning of the Yule log, the decoration of Yule trees, the eating of ham, the hanging of boughs, holly, mistletoe, and others are historically practiced associated with Yule. The ritual of slaughtering a boar on Yule. The tradition is thought to be derived from the sacrifice of boars to the god Freyr at Yule celebrations. So all the singing, dancing, the decorated tree, mistletoes, gift giving, all of that derives from the pagan religions. But who is Santa then? Since pre-Christian times, Julebocken has come to our homes instead of Santa Claus. On the eve of the Yule, children are visited by Julebocken, a character similar to Santa Claus as we know him today. The word Julebocken means Yule goat, and probably derives from old pagan traditions, where people dressed in goat hides circulated in homes after Yule, eating leftover food. Julebocken visits people's homes and rides on a sleigh pulled by a number of reindeers. He knocks on the front door during Yule, rather than sneaking in through the chimney at night. When he comes in, his first words are usually, "Are there any good, well-behaved children here?" Parents are given and opened immediately. He usually wears red, warm clothes and often carries a wooden walking stick. That's a little bit about what Julebocken did and how he looked like. Now to what he is. The Julebuck or Yule goat is a ubiquitous symbol of the winter holidays in Scandinavian countries. A throwback to pre-Christian times, the Julebuck is a pagan Yule symbol that was gradually absorbed into Christian holiday customs. In the Norse pagan religion, the goat was the conveyance of the god's. Early images of Odin in a goat-drawn cart are eerily similar to modern depictions of Santa Claus. The Yule goat, or as we say, Julbakken, is one of the oldest Scandinavian Christmas symbols. Its origin is the legend about the thunder god Thor, who rode in the sky in a wagon pulled by two goats. The Yule goat at one time also brought Yule gifts. This character was later replaced with Jultomten, or Santa Claus. The Yule god, or Julbakken, was Odin in disguise. He dressed up as one of Thor's goats, the goats that carried his wagon. Odin dressed up as one of the goats of Thor to meet his sons and daughters here on Midgard. So how did Julbakken, the Yule goat, Odin dressed up as one of the goats carrying Thor among the clouds, become Santa Claus? How did he transform from being a man, or rather a god dressed up as a goat walking on his 2 feet, to a white-bearded man? Well, Odin Sundblom, born 1899, Odin Hubard Sonny Sundblom, was a United States artist best known for the images of Santa Claus he created for the Coca-Cola Company. Sundblom was born in Muskegon, Michigan, to a Finnish-Swedish-speaking family. His origins ties back to Sweden and Finland. His father, Carl Wilhelm Sundblom, come from the farm Norrgårds in the village of Sundboda in Fögle, of the Swedish-speaking Åland Islands, then part of the Russian Grand Duchy of Finland, now Finland, and his mother Karin Andersson was from Sweden. Sundblom studied at the American Academy of Art. Sundblom is best remembered for his advertising work, specifically the Santa Claus advertisement he painted for the Coca-Cola companies in the 1930s. Sundblom Claus firmly established the larger-than-life grandfatherly Claus as a key figure in Christmas imagery. Odin Sundblom got his inspiration from Thomas Nast, who with Clement Clarke Moore helped to create the modern image of Santa Claus. Thomas Nast, whose origin is in Germany, and Odin Sundblom, whose origin is in Finland and Sweden, both had Tomten, or Gårdstomten, and Odin in mind, or as we would pronounce it in Sweden, Gårdstomten, when they created the Santa Claus we know today. Who is Gårdstomten? Tomten was a very grumpy little dwarf who looked a lot like Santa. He just had a grey costume, and as I said, he wasn't much taller than a 5-year-old. Santa is aesthetically based on him, and he secretly worked in stables and barns and so on. He helped out at the farms, out in the forests and the fields. He didn't like being caught helping out. If he did, he would do some mischief, and if you forgot to thank him for his work by giving him a warm bowl of porridge rich with milk, butter, and honey, he would get mad and put a spell of unluck on you. Odin Sundblom said himself that he thought about Odin when he drew Santa Claus, but that he later also thought about Tomtena, or Gårdstomterna, which is European folklore, or Scandinavian or Germanic folklore, but you have similar folklores in Celtic mythology as well. I thought we would compare Odin with Santa Claus. Numerous parallels have been drawn between Santa Claus and the figure of Odin, a major god amongst the Germanic peoples prior to their Christianization. Since many of these elements are unrelated to Christianity, there are theories regarding the pagan origins of various customs of the holiday stemming from areas where the Germanic people were Christianized and retained elements of their indigenous traditions, surviving in various forms into modern depictions of Santa Claus. Odin was sometimes recorded at the native Germanic holiday of Yule, as leading a great hunting party through the sky. Two books from Iceland, the Poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier sources, and the Prosy Edda, written in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson, described Odin as riding an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir that could leap great distances, giving rise to comparisons to Santa Claus' reindeer.